Africa faces significant climate challenges that are becoming increasingly urgent. Rising temperatures, prolonged droughts, and extreme weather events such as floods and storms threaten lives and livelihoods across the continent. The continent is particularly vulnerable due to its heavy reliance on rain-fed agriculture and limited adaptive capacity to cope with these changes. Yet despite these challenges, Africa's contribution to global greenhouse gas emissions remains relatively small, highlighting a significant disparity. This situation presents a unique opportunity for Africa to lead by example in the fight against climate change. By pursuing a sustainable development pathway, the continent can not only mitigate climate risks, but also foster economic growth and improve the quality of life for its people. Embracing renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and climate-resilient infrastructure is not just an environmental imperative, but also a pathway to a more prosperous and equitable future for all Africans. Africa faces the dual challenge of promoting economic growth and addressing climate change. Traditional development models, often reliant on fossil fuels, are no longer viable. A paradigm shift is needed, one that decouples economic growth from environmental degradation. Sustainable development offers a way forward, promoting economic growth while preserving the environment for future generations. This approach recognizes the interconnectedness of social, economic, and environmental well-being. Investing in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and climate-resilient infrastructure can create jobs, reduce poverty, and enhance resilience to climate impacts. A SWOT analysis helps to understand the complexities of Africa's green transition, highlighting both the potential and the challenges that lie ahead. This comprehensive approach allows us to see the full picture of abundant renewable energy resources like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal, which are plentiful across the continent and offer immense potential for sustainable energy production. A young and growing population, which is a potential source of green jobs. This demographic dividend can be harnessed to drive innovation and growth in the renewable energy sector. Rich biodiversity and natural capital, which are invaluable assets that can be preserved and enhanced through sustainable practices. Limited financial resources and technological capacity, which pose significant hurdles to large-scale implementation of green projects. Weak governance and institutional frameworks which can impede progress and create barriers to effective policy implementation. Dependence on fossil fuels in some countries, which makes the transition to renewable energy more challenging and requires careful management. Attracting foreign investment in renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure, which is crucial for funding and scaling up green initiatives. Developing green technologies and industries, which can create new economic opportunities and drive sustainable development. Leapfrogging to a low-carbon economy, which offers a unique opportunity for Africa to bypass traditional polluting industrial stages. Climate change impacts exacerbating existing vulnerabilities, making it imperative to adopt resilient and adaptive strategies. Volatility in global commodity prices, which can affect economic stability and the feasibility of long-term green investments. Resistance from vested interests in fossil fuel industries, which can slow down the transition and require strategic negotiation and policy measures to overcome. Across Africa, inspiring examples of renewable energy projects demonstrate the potential of a green transition. In Rwanda, off-grid solar systems are expanding energy access to rural communities. Kenya has emerged as a global leader in geothermal energy, while Morocco is home to one of the world's largest concentrated solar power plants. These projects demonstrate the viability of renewable energy in Africa, creating jobs, reducing energy poverty, and attracting foreign investment. By scaling up such initiatives, Africa can meet its growing energy demands while mitigating climate change. Realizing Africa's green transition requires supportive policies and international collaboration. Governments should prioritize renewable energy in their energy mix, create incentives for clean technologies, and strengthen regulatory frameworks. International partners can play a crucial role by providing financial and technical assistance, facilitating technology transfer, and supporting capacity building. Collaboration is essential to address the global challenge of climate change and to ensure a sustainable future for Africa. The green transition is not without its challenges. Concerns remain about the potential economic impacts of transitioning away from fossil fuels, particularly for countries with significant reserves. However, the long-term benefits of sustainable development far outweigh the short-term costs. By investing in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and green infrastructure, Africa can create new industries, generate employment, and achieve economic growth that is both inclusive and environmentally sustainable. Several obstacles stand in the way of Africa's green transition. Limited access to finance, technological gaps, and weak institutional capacity pose significant challenges. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach. Innovative financing mechanisms are needed to attract private sector investment. Technology transfer and capacity building are essential to empower African nations to develop and implement sustainable solutions. Africa's green transition represents a historic opportunity to forge a more sustainable and prosperous future for the continent. By embracing renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and climate-resilient infrastructure, Africa can lead the way in global environmental stewardship. Africa can mitigate climate change, create jobs, and foster economic growth through innovative green technologies. This will not only improve the well-being of its people, but also ensure a healthier environment for future generations. This endeavor requires a collective effort. Governments, businesses, civil society, and local communities must come together to drive this transformation. International partners must also collaborate to provide the necessary support and resources to overcome the challenges and seize the opportunities of a green and resilient Africa. The time for action is now. Together, we can build a resilient and sustainable future for Africa and the world.